My two sons are at each other's throats constantly. They are 6 years old and 8 years old. I can't punish them all day long, and I don't want to yell at them all day long, though I find I'm doing that sometimes. Is there some way to get them to stop because I can't stand living with them? Fortunately, there is a way to get your kids to stop fighting with each other. You can use the 2 times rule. In the 2 times rule, we make a statement, sort of an information statement, that says we don't do X because of Y. We do Z instead. So, we don't fight with each other because it's hurtful and unpleasant. We either get along or we go to our separate places and do our separate things. Okay, that could be one way that you might phrase that rule for your children. And you would say that on the next time that you see them fighting with each other. Basically, you're saying if you can't get along, just separate and go do your own thing, right? Now, you'll say that, and then a few minutes later, they'll be fighting again. So you'll come in on step 2 of the 2 times rule. And you'll repeat what you just said, but you'll add a warning. So you'll say, hey boys, I told you a few minutes ago, we don't fight with each other because it's hurtful. If you're not able to get along, just take a break from each other and go and do your own thing in separate rooms instead. And from now on, when I see you fighting, you will both experience such and such negative consequence. Now, when I say such and such here, you will actually name a consequence. For example, you might say, you will both be sent to your rooms for a few minutes, or you will both have to go to bed early tonight, or you will both lose your story, or you will both lose your dessert at dinner. Something that you think would annoy them enough to make them want to stop fighting. It'll be some little consequence, right? We're not going to take away their candy for a year or something, some minor consequence, but something annoying. Now, if they continue fighting after you've said this, then that's when they're going to get their consequence. You don't give them any speeches, you don't yell at them anymore, and you just come in and say, I'm sorry, but you've been fighting, so now such and such has to happen. So, for example, you've been fighting, so now neither of you are getting stories tonight at bedtime, if that's what you had picked, or neither of you are getting computer time tonight, if that's what you had picked. So when you pick the right consequence, you rarely have to use it more than 3 different times in order for the children to begin to stop their fighting behavior. If you're picking a consequence that doesn't really bother them, then their behavior won't change. You say you want to stop punishing your children. You don't want to be punishing them all day long. You shouldn't have to punish them any more than 3 times once you start using this 2 times rule. So pick a consequence that is annoying enough that they will want to control themselves more. In addition, reward and attend to their cooperative behaviors. Okay, make sure that they get attention from you when they're getting along. Tell them, great, I see you guys are playing so nicely. Make sure that you show them that you're pleased when they're doing the right thing. The combination of positive attention for doing the right thing and a little bit of negative consequences for doing the wrong thing should cure your boys of this pretty fast.